This video is for Nova Online Math 161 and we're looking at the final exam review topic of domain of logarithmic functions. Write the domain in interval notation. We have f of x equals log x plus 5 over x minus 2. Whenever you're finding domain of log function, take notes. Say that log argument must be greater than 0. It can't be negative. It can't be 0. It's gotta be a positive number. Okay? So what is that log argument for this function? Well, it's that rational expression right there. So what you're going to set up is say that x plus 5 over x minus 2 is greater than 0. Oh no, now it turned into a rational inequality problem. So let's solve this. So when you are solving rational inequality, you find the zero of numerator, whatever makes the top of the fraction 0. And also you need to find the 0 of denominator. So let me highlight the numerator first, okay? The numerator is x plus 5. What makes that 0? X plus 5 is 0 and x is negative 5. Because the symbol says greater than or, just greater than, it can't be equal to, we need to make sure that we plot an open circle at negative 5. Because if you plot a closed circle, that means it can be equal to negative 5. But when x is negative 5, the top of the fraction turns into 0, so the entire quotient turns into 0. But they said they want specifically that rational expression to be greater than 0, not equal to 0. So that's why you have to go with the open circle here. Now remember, for the 0 of the denominator, you just have to plot open circle no matter what, because the denominator can never be equal to 0, okay? So say x minus 2 equals 0. Well, that will give us x equals positive 2. We will plot an open circle. So ready to sketch out that number line? We're going to do a new number line. Put the small number on the left. What's the smaller number out of these two? Negative 5 is smaller. Put that open circle. Put an open circle at 2, 2. And what we're now going to have to do is plug in some numbers to that inequality to see if it comes out to be true or false, okay? Now, what's the number smaller than negative 5? I'm going to go with negative 6, okay? If I plug in negative 6 into that inequality, we're going to get negative 6 plus 5 over negative 6 minus 2. I want to know if that's greater than 0. Now, let's see. The numerator is negative 1. The denominator is negative 8. Now, negative divided by negative is positive. And positive 1/8 is definitely greater than 0. So we have a true statement. So the interval to the left of negative 5 must be the answer interval. So I'm going to go ahead and mark it. So we found the first solution interval. Now let's check the interval in between negative 5 and 2. So I'm going to plug in 0 because 0 is in between negative 5 and 2. So if I plug in 0 into that inequality, I'm going to get 0 plus 5 over 0 minus 2. And is that greater than 0? Let us see. Well, that's 5 over negative 2. But 5 divided by negative 2 is a negative number. That can't be true. Negative number is not greater than 0, so we're going to tell them that's false, okay? Now, let's pick the last number, okay? What's the number that's bigger than 2? Well, let's go with 3. If we plug in 3 into this inequality, we're going to get 3 plus 5 over 3 minus 2. And let's simplify this to see if it gives us true or false inequality. We're going to get 8 over positive 1. And 8 divided by 1 is 8. And 8 is greater than 0. So we have a true statement making the interval to the right of 2 our solution. So let's write the domain. Let's write the final answer. So the domain of, oopsie, where did that go? Hold on. So the domain of, what was the name of this function? I forgot who it was. Oh, f. Look, this was f, okay? So they wanted us to find the domain of f. Now, what's that equal to? Let's look at our inequalities. So the interval to the left of -5. So I'm going to say -infinity to -5. Both use, regular parenthesis, no square brackets, okay? Union symbol. Draw the U there. From 2 to +infinity. So that's it for the domain of this log function, f of x.